All right. Hey, I'm Spencer.
And I'm Britton.
Since 2011, Buckethead has released 322 albums in his Pike series, and we're going to listen to them.
3 at a time.
This is Getting Head. Bucket Cast.
Welcome, fellas, not fellas, and the band Hella. People who are Yella, Old Yella, the dog, and Franklin Jella, Bella from Twilight, Pennywise from the Deadlights, and those with sopping wet holes that are tight. Everybody named Dwight.
Okay.
Adults who fly kites. And people with servers well into petabytes. Those of great heights. Those who God smites. And people who mask their racism, saying states' rights. Get in line, and let's be kind, or we'll come too fast. It's episode 99 of Getting Ed, a Bucket
A
Cast.
Wow, 99. That's a lot. We've done a lot of these.
One
That's
away from
cool.
100, brother.
Yeah, one away from 100. I mean, that's kind of an achievement. Feels good. We did something. You've got a very tall glass. Before we started recording, it looked like you were pouring Diet Coke into a bong, like the stem of a bong. And
That'd
like,
be cool.
I didn't put that past you. I mean, not to say that I expect that from you, but I wouldn't put it past you.
No, that's on brand, at least. Like, I'd be like, that's weird, but, you know,
Yeah.
Brit, whatever. It happens.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, Diet Coke is pretty wonderful. We've espoused its benefits a lot.
Yeah,
Here.
it's the gothest of all beverages, and therefore the best of all beverages.
You think? I mean, black coffee is pretty goth too.
It's fairly goth, but also like a lot of fucking like Republicans drink black coffee.
You don't think Republicans drink Diet Coke? I
Not
mean,
as much as black coffee. I feel like Diet Coke. It's like a Trump thing, but not a lot of Republicans drink Diet
But
Coke.
didn't-
They're more
didn't
like
he
regular
drink, like-
Coca-Cola. Republicans
didn't he drink,
love their
like,
corn products.
13 a day or something.
Yeah, 12 a day, I think. Is what it was.
That's a lot of Diet Coke.
I've done that before. That's no feat.
Like yeah, it's okay. Like what Trump did, like I
know,
done the
it's-
same thing.
It's only a little more than a gallon of Diet Coke. You know, it's whatever.
A gallon of Diet Coke is a lot of Diet Coke, though. I mean,
Yeah.
you're on this exponential scale of thinking more and more Diet Coke is an acceptable amount of Diet Coke when
Uh-huh.
maybe we need to reevaluate the scale. I don't know.
You know what? My doctor hasn't said anything about it. I haven't told my doctor anything about it, but they haven't said anything about it. So, you know,
Well,
I'm
all right, there you go. It sounds like you're in the clear. I
I'm
don't
not
know.
dying that I know of. So
That you know of, I mean, we're all dying in a way. if you
right.
think about it.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, when you think about like the march of time and everything, sure, but
Certainly.
uh,
Speaking of 99, it's the atomic number of Einsteinium. That's pretty sick, right? You know what the only other thing it says on the Wikipedia page for 99? 99 is a number I expected there to be more about, but it only has two things about it. One, Einsteinium, and two, 0.99 is a common price ender in pricing.
that is true. Do you know why that is?
It's to trick your brain into thinking that it's less than it really is.
No. In the early days of cash registers, they decided to start making things 99 cents in order to discourage employee theft. Because if something was 99 cents, they had to make change for it. And so if things were just $1, they could just pocket $1. But if it's 99 cents, you got to make a penny change.
Oh.
Mhm.
Cool.
Yep.
That's an interesting factoid. Like early days of cash registers must have been like what, the 20s?
Yeah, I'd say like the 20s to the 50s, back when they had like, the
Mhm.
almost like abacus type things.
We've come a long way.
We certainly have. But I mean,
I
they're
was
still
gonna say,
super interesting calculators for what they are. Like
Oh,
mechanical
absolutely.
calculators are fucking
Yeah.
fascinating. And like being able to design a mechanical calculator takes the craziest brain space. Like, you have to be able to think of everything completely spatially, which is like the craziest talent, you know?
Right. For sure. It's
Mhm.
heavy stuff.
Yeah.
1999 was a really important year. A lot of things happened that year.
Yeah, I mean, Prince partied a lot that year, I think.
He did.
He
did. Another important event on New Year's Eve, 1999. Let's test your knowledge here. Limp Bizkit played at the TRL.
I remember this.
New Year's Bash. They played a cover of a famous 80s pop song. What song?
I totally forgot what it was. It wasn't Faith. God, what was it?
It's a song they've never released. They
we watched it
so they weren't allowed
like,
to.
Okay,
so there's actually.
that?
Wait, what?
I think we watched it together like last year.
Yeah, I think we did. I think we did. So what's interesting about this is they actually recorded this cover for.
It was 1999 by fucking Prince. Yeah, that's right. I was like, what was it? No, that'd be too obvious. No, that wasn't. You motherfucker.
See, I knew I was going to trick you with that, which is why I was excited to bring it up. But so apparently they recorded that cover. Yeah, and Prince didn't allow him to release it.
Prince won't let like anybody record covers of his music. Like if he wants you to do one of his songs, he like gives it to you, like Sinead O'Connor. Otherwise, like he won't do like covers. And so one of my favorite things is Prince was trying to do like a DMCA takedown on someone's cover of one of his songs. And fucking Tom York from Radiohead noticed that one of Prince's most viewed videos on YouTube was a cover of them doing Creep. And so Tom York messaged him and he's like, hey, listen, if you want like this independent artist to take down their cover, you're going to have to take down your cover of Creep, and we're going to have to talk about royalties for that. And so Prince immediately let the independent artists put their shit back up, which is pretty awesome.
That's cool. That's fun. It's cool when people can leverage influence in a way that is like better for the smaller person.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice.
And Prince is like an infamous fucking dickhead to everybody. Like,
oh yeah, and then
Prince was
like,
a real piece of shit human being.
Yeah, he was like really involved with the Jehovah's Witnesses too, which is like extra yikes.
Later in
like,
life, he became celibate later in life, which is like the worst character turn for fucking Prince.
I know,
like,
right?
He's literally so fucking Prince. Like he is. Yeah. He's like a fucklord. Like he's known as a universal fucklord, and he was like, you know what? Nah, I've had enough pussy. Like what? How? When?
maybe you reach a fill. Like you're just like, I'm good. I had enough. I'm done. Maybe it'll happen to you.
Time to believe in the worst version of Christianity. The absolute worst one you can think of.
No, it's absolutely the worst. They're absolute bastards. But it's pretty funny. It's pretty funny. Maybe it'll happen to us. Maybe it'll happen to you. Maybe it'll happen to me. You know, we'll see. We'll see. I'm excited to see who of my friends becomes celibate later in life, so I can laugh at that.
I mean, voluntarily, or
yeah, voluntarily, not involuntarily. That would be a little mean.
Yeah, because I feel like we already have a few friends that are involuntarily celibate.
Whoa. Yes, that's true. Yeah. So speaking of involuntary celibacy,
don't like this.
I think it's time for goth news.
Let's do it.
Beneath the waning moon, it's goth news. Goth news for cool dudes.
In goth news this week, a video was released from the BBC archive this week featuring a news report made in 1987 about the gothic subculture.
Nice.
In the 5-minute featurette, several interviews are given to British goths who talk about their interest in the dark subculture, with a non-subtle warning that the subculture is somehow a threat to polite British society.
Oh, definitely.
Oddly, the first interview given is on the featurette is a man who identifies not as a goth, but a vampire. And the interviewer in narration uses the line, "Transylvania has been transported," which rules. I loved it so much. I like laughed so hard when she said
that's awesome.
Yeah. After that, a well-spoken goth explains how people associated with the punk scene in the late 70s kind of grew out of the movement and sought a more creative, less aggressive musical and artistic outlet, leading to the post-punk movement and goth, which was actually a really great summation of it, especially in like the late 80s when there wasn't really like post-punk wasn't actually a title given to that music, but he talks about it as like an extension of the punk scene in like in a way that like critics now talk about it, which was really cool.
Very cool.
They also feature the singer for The Damned selling jewelry.
Awesome.
Overall, it's not terribly unfair, but it is hilarious and incredibly dated. If you'd like to see it, go to BBC Archives YouTube and just search goth, and you'll definitely find it.
Hell yeah.
Moving on in goth news. In goth obituaries this week, we have lost a goth hero in historian Dr. Gwendolyn Midlow Hall. Gwendolyn was an American historian who focused on the history of slavery in the Caribbean, Latin America, and Louisiana, being most notable for her work, Africans in Colonial Louisiana, the development of Afro-Creole culture in the 18th century, in 1992, which made her a preeminent scholar on Creolization in slave culture in 18th century Louisiana. In addition to this, Hull is noted for her creation of a database that identified more than 100,000 enslaved Africans, which has since become a primary resource for both historical and genealogical research.
Nice.
Hull is also a professor emerita of Latin American and Caribbean history at Rutgers University, New Jersey, where she taught for 25 years. So sleep fast and dream on, Dr. Hull. And most importantly, stay dead.
Stay dead.
And finally in goth news this week, in an interview this week, goth and pizza patriarch Papa John Schnatter gave his views on customer service, saying, quote, "You always have to listen to the customer. You know, it's like marketing. Everybody's a marketing genius, but the problem with that is it's inside-out thinking. You don't need to think about marketing from inside out. You need to think about it from the customer's perspective. And the customer was telling us they like our pizza delivered. They want it carried out and delivered. They don't want to eat the pizza in the restaurant. They want it delivered. So we got rid of the dining room.
Yep.
They want it
There you
delivered,
go.
goddammit.
They want it fucking delivered. They don't want to eat it in the restaurant.
So that explains why Papa John's is just a counter, and they rely on the business of not being able to smell or see the conditions in which your pizza is made. You
Of
know,
course.
I don't know personally if I've ever seen a Papa John's pizza made like I have with, like somewhere like Little Caesars where the oven is like right there, or Domino's.
Right.
But I do know one thing. Schnatter stepped down as CEO of Papa John's in 2018 after he blamed declining sales on football players protesting the treatment of black people in America, causing their stock to fall 30%. He then used the N-word during a conference call.
Goth news from cool dudes.
Scooby-Doo-doo-doo.
Yeah, that was a great goth news. Thanks for that.
Yeah.
Good segue into our ongoing coverage of Papa John Schnatter and exploits.
Yeah.
Get rid of the dining room. They don't want it. They don't want to eat the pizza.
They want it
here.
delivered.
They want it fucking delivered, motherfucker. Speaking
Yeah.
of pizza, actually, I do have a segue into a pizza story. Like no joke. So I went to a pizza place in San Jose, California, yesterday. It's a place that I've gone to a few times. I like it a lot. It's pretty great. It's called Pizza Flora in San Jose, and they have some pretty good pizza. And I went
Pizza
there.
Flora, so they make pizza out of plants, you're saying?
Not exclusively.
I prefer pizza fauna.
Nice.
Yeah, we make the dough with bone meal? I don't know.
Yeah. You know,
It just
it's
works
like-
out.
Yeah, it works out great. You know that saying, grind your bones to make my bread or whatever? Yeah, we do that here. Hell yeah. Can you do that? Can you make bone
No.
bread? Is that a thing?
No.
Okay.
No, absolutely
All right.
not.
So the whole grinding bones thing, that's just a misnomer?
Yeah,
Unless
yeah.
we're talking about
Like,
strippers?
yeah, bones are like mostly like calcium. Like there's
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah. It'd be like grinding up a rock and trying to make bread out of it. It's not happening.
You saying you
Bones-
never had rock bread? It's a shame, bro. You got to
Yeah.
have some rock bread.
Mhm.
Anyways, this place is pretty tight. So I'm ordering some food. I'm talking to the guy at the counter. And then there's another woman working there, and she comes by and she's like grabbing something out of somewhere. And I see that she has a tattoo of a pizza slice, a very large pizza tattoo on her like bicep.
Sure.
And I'm like, "Hey, I like your pizza tattoo. That's pretty cool." And she goes, "Yeah, I got this when I took over here, and I keep telling people that it's going to be my first cover up if this place fails."
It's pretty funny.
And it was pretty funny, and it was like pretty like surprising. Like I wasn't expecting that response right away, but it was pretty good. And then she was like, "Oh yeah, this is the slice of pizza that you just ordered," and I was like, "Oh, cool."
And then you should have been like, "So, can I bite your arm?"
Yeah, exactly. You're like, "Well, so that was fun. That was a fun little interaction that I had with the outside world. I don't have too many interactions with the world anymore because, like, I just stand at a computer for a long time and click around. It's weird.
Well, you know what they say? There's only two jobs in America now: the guy on computer or guy who delivers stuff to guy on computer.
Right. Yeah, no,
that's the
terrible.
two American jobs. It's either you consume or do the computer thing.
Right.
Or you help computer people do the consumption thing. We're just the funniest consumer society. Like here in America, we don't do anything that like actually makes money. We're just like playing funny games with our money in banks and somehow generating value, which is the most bullshit concept of all time. And we're finding that now that like,
scary.
you know, with supply chain problems and stuff like that, we're figuring out, hey, labor should maybe be tied to value because if we don't have things, everything's fucked.
Right.
You know, which is why like Taiwan or what's a Taiwan circuits or whatever, the place that makes most of like the circuit chips and transistors in the world.
Yeah, transistors.
The fucking that company, they shot from like the 30th most valuable company in the world to like the 8th most valuable company in the world during COVID because people realized, oh wait a second, we need this for fucking everything.
Fucking everything.
And it's weird to me that like, I mean, America needs to nationalize like their own fucking transistor processing.
Right.
Because if we rely
didn't Biden sign a thing to like encourage that or something? Didn't that happen?
Sign something to encourage it. I mean, and they always give tons of subsidies to like Intel and shit, but they just always build fucking wafer factories over in Israel and shit.
Right, which they just did. Their new factory is like insane. It's not. I don't think it's complete yet, but it's fucking nuts. Absolutely crazy.
I don't know. I mean, they're even if they did something to encourage it, like they're not doing enough. And that's what I'm saying is they don't need to encourage private business to do it because private business can always fucking pick up, go overseas, do whatever the fuck they want. We need to nationalize it. Like, we need
like the post office, but for circuits,
we need to,
you know,
things that are absolutely essential to our society should be nationalized. Like all public utilities, you know, fucking airplane safety. Like, no one ever complains about the FAA. No one ever says, oh, I don't want my tax money going to the FAA because you know what? They keep fucking planes in the sky. Like, they're the people who make sure that planes don't crash, and private industry will not do that for themselves.
Right.
You know?
That's
but
true.
no, like, all public utilities and also things that, like, we absolutely need to rely on, like fucking transistors, because guess what? Everything's electronic these days.
Right.
And so, like, and, you know, and so we're going to end up, if we keep doing nothing and don't make our own like electronic components, China's going to take over Taiwan and we're going to start the next world war over Taiwan. That's it.
Well, that sounds bad.
It's very bad. But it's as simple as that because America goes to war for one reason and one reason only, which is materials acquisition. And like,
cool.
You know, no, it's not cool. It's going to fucking suck.
Yeah, I believe you.
I mean, we're going to be too old at that point, hopefully, to be drafted. But, you know, our young friends are going to die in Taiwan.
Yeah, you know, that's a bad time. Let's hope it doesn't get to that.
Yeah. We'll hope.
Uh,
Let's go, Brandon.
LGB.
LGBTQ.
Yeah.
Let's go, Brandon. TQ.
Yep. 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 Well, that's a lot of doom and gloom, but also realistic doom and gloom within the position we find ourselves in the world.
The parameters of reality.
Parameters of reality. That sounds like a Queensryche album.
Either that or like a William Gibson novel.
Oh, definitely. Big William Gibson energy. Yeah. The Circuit Wars are definitely something.
Oh, yeah,
we'd
the
probably write
Transistor
about.
Wars. Yeah.
Yeah. The Transistor,
Transistor
Wars
Wars
saga
does,
part 1 of 69.
Yeah, 100%.
What's been up with you in real life? IRL, as they say.
Jerking off.
As you
Grand
do.
Moff Tarkin. I don't know. That didn't
Did you say
really
Grand
matter.
Moff Tarkin?
I did. I was going with jerking off Grand Moff. I say Tarkin.
Yeah. To
Here we
specify.
go.
That's
Jerking off Grand Moff Tarkin. Noah's Arkin, motherfucker.
Whoa,
Slap it, baby.
That's pretty
Slap it
tight.
hard.
That's pretty tight. Yeah.
But I have been actually Noah's Arking. I've been stealing 2 of every animal and holding it
cool.
in my apartment.
Oh yeah, nice. That's good.
Yeah.
You got Noah's apartment happening. Huh?
Noah's apartment. Noah's APT.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That'd be a pretty good. That sounds like a good like Disney series, right? Noah's apartment.
Sure. It's like he's a modern reincarnation of Noah. A modern
Yeah, and he just
retelling
like
of the
he
story.
lives on like the top floor of a building, and God's like, the flood is coming. Get 2 of every animal, and he's like, okay.
in
and so
my
he just starts
apartment.
hoarding animals in his top floor apartment.
And it turns out he's just schizophrenic. That's like the end.
No, of course. That's yeah, duh. I mean, Noah was schizophrenic.
Definitely. Do you think that he actually built a boat and survived on his boat? Do you think that was the thing that actually happened, or like do you think it was a real? Do you think there's a seed of truth? Like there was a real story that was embellished, or
So,
perhaps
I mean,
entirely made up?
There's archaeological truths to the fact that there definitely was a flood around there at that time. That's all we can really say.
Right.
I don't
know
I
that.
don't think he built a big boat. He definitely didn't get 2 of every animal.
No. Well, I know that part. No.
Yeah, the entire the entire fucking area was not, the entire world was not flooded for 40 days and 40 nights. There's proof that never happened.
Definitely.
But
Yeah, there's
Mesoamerica did have a series of floods, around like I think 2,500 or 3,000 years ago. And there's that. There might have been one guy who's like, a flood is coming, and everyone thought he was crazy, and then he like got high ground and survived, and a bunch of people died. It could have happened. That's feasible. But the fucking boat that's like the size of a small city and getting 2 of every animal.
No,
from the
absolutely
entire
not. Like
world,
absolutely insane.
is
Insane.
wild.
It's truly wild. I love the Christian LARPers, the people that are like read the Bible and they're like, yeah, I'm gonna go around telling people that this shit is true as fuck, like all of it. Like those people are really interesting. It's fun to
What's the
hear 'em.
worst is the guys like who try to talk to you on the street about it, and they'll be like, "Hey,
yeah.
are you a atheist?" And like they have a funny fucking script, and they have like gotcha things like, "Are you an atheist?" And we're like, yeah, and we're like, "Well, can I ask you some questions about the Bible?" And you're like, "Yeah," like, how many of each animal did Moses bring on the ark? And you're like, 2. And he's like, huh, gotcha. It was Noah, not Moses. Seems like you have a lot to learn about the Bible and shit like that.
Oh, that
And
sounds infuriating. I've never
no,
experienced
it was
that.
like
Is this
a
something that
guy
actually
did that to me in
happened
U District once, and I was
What?
like, I wanted to punch him in the fucking face. I'm like, fuck you, and I walked off because like, fuck that guy. Like,
Yeah, dude, what the fuck is that? That's some dumbass shit. Like, how is that supposed to encourage people to want to fucking read the Bible? Like, that encourages me to fucking like read that dude's face with my fist. Like,
yeah, it was really annoying.
that sucks ass.
Yeah,
If you had to
fucking-
do that kind of a thing on the street, but like trick people about something, what subject would you choose?
Oh, like communism, definitely.
Okay, let's. I'm
Yeah.
a guy on the street. Do it. Let's go.
Hey, sir, are you a capitalist?
I I don't know. What was that?
Apparently, Alexa was thinking I asked if he was a communist. That's interesting.
We communist. I thought you said capitalist.
Oh yeah, sorry, capitalist.
I don't know.
Oh, you don't know? Well, you shouldn't be. Have a nice
You're
day.
probably right.
No, you have to say, of course I'm a capitalist, because then I have to do my gotcha.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Okay.
Oh.
Let's try again.
Yeah. Hey, sir, are you a capitalist?
Absolutely, good sir.
What do you think dialectical materialism? God damn it! How? I'm not even saying Alexa. Stop. Fuck you. This is gonna be the worst Abbott and Costello routine ever.
Yeah, it's absolutely terrible. It's absolutely terrible.
Yeah, Alexa in Costello.
Yeah. Anyways, yes, that's gotcha. You got me, I think.
Yep. I got you, babe. Ba 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 ba. I got you, babe. Ba ba.
It actually
ba,
sounds like
ba, ba.
Alexa got us more than anything else. Like Alexa just like burst right in,
Mhm.
told us what was what. Speaking of what was what, I think it's time maybe for a bucket fact.
Yeah, let's get into it, baby.
Bucket fact, 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 bucket fact.
Oh boy, today is a downer. Today I'm going to talk about something I should have probably talked about a long time ago, but something that is unfortunately a part of not just the Buckethead community, but really any community, but especially one dedicated to such a unique talent.
Right.
Today we're going to talk about toxicity in Buckethead's fan base, and I'm not talking about the System of a Down album.
Shit, because a lot of
So
those
strap
dudes
the fuck
definitely
in.
own toxicity by
Uh,
System of a Down.
so strap the fuck in, because it's going to get uncomfortable.
Oh, I'm always uncomfortable. I'm ready for this.
Cool. I decided to write this article, this bucket fact, after the following statement was put out on Praxis's Facebook account after their first New York reunion show this last Tuesday. The statement reads, quote, "A heartfelt thanks to everyone that came last night. As you're undoubtedly aware, we're in interesting times. We love the passion of the fans, particularly of Buckethead, but try and remember, these are people. Be respectful, be humble, stop want comments or speculation or whatever, and just enjoy what we've been given. We understand fandom, but some of you border on problematic, and that needs to scale back.
Whoa.
Thank you again for your support. Looking forward to tonight's show."
Is this in reference to a specific event? Like,
I
what
don't
happened?
know. I don't know. I don't know
'Cause
for
I-
certain.
I heard somebody like threw something on stage that caused a bunch of like controversy. I was wondering if this was related to that. Like somebody threw a toy on stage or something. I haven't
Interesting.
seen it, but I saw some like posts going around about it
Weird.
on Facebook.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Bordering on problematic is maybe an understatement. I'd also like to read a post here that's become somewhat infamous in the Buckethead community and led to a lot of people leaving Buckethead.tk, which was formerly like the most trafficked Buckethead forum by far, but is since very much fallen out of favor,
Mhm.
in favor of like Facebook especially. And it's since then become the Buckethead Pro Board, so it's no longer Buckethead.tk. But this one comes from Saul, one of the founders and admins of the board. He says,
All Goodman.
5 years ago, back in 2017, "I love B, always will. Love a ton of his music, love his stage character, persona, etc., etc. He's a talent. He's also someone who likes money, not unlike me or you. I don't blame him for releasing 2 billion albums in a month, a bunch of paintings, artwork, custom DVD performances of one song, etc. It's funny to me, certainly doesn't appeal to me, and I can see how many fans, both casual and hardcore, could be completely turned off by it all. But I blame us. We, over the years, we built him up. We came here day in and day out and worshipped him. He saw all that. It was digested. Some of us were so deep, we had to have everything he released. He definitely took notice of that. So I blame us. I also blame technology. You could see this all start way, way back with the binge tapes. Today, though, it's just so much easier to videotape or record music and distribute it. Label? Nobody needs a stinking label anymore if you already have an established fan base. You don't need any promotion when there's a decade-old forum with thousands of members dedicated to you. You're welcome, Bucket. Maybe one day you'll pass some credit my way for how important me creating this forum and dedicating years to building your fan base and promoting you was for you to be able to do the things you can do now. Fart in a jar, slap a Buckethead Land sticker on it, and a $10 price tag. I'm sure someone here would buy it, but I digress. When Bucket and GNR went separate ways, I knew his chances at a big money record contract was gone. I predicted in many posts back then that B would turn to digital releases, grassroots online type sales, and this forum's fan base would keep him prosperous for as long as he dedicated to releasing his stuff. I just feel that it's become very diluted, very, very watered down. I am and always will be a Buckethead fan. I cherish some of the old material, some of the old video bootlegs. I cherish a lot of stuff. I am not, however, a hardcore fan who can buy into a lot of what I see happening today. Maybe I resent the fact that I am somewhat to blame for all this, for building this forum, keeping this forum open even as my interest waned. I feel like I helped enable this watered-down material to surface and live. I don't know, I just feel strange about some of the stuff I'm seeing at the merch tent inside of Buckethead Land as of late. Brian, I know you're reading this. My plea to you is this. Take some time soon and give us a real meal, some meat and potatoes. Deliver another giant robot, Monsters and Robots, Colma. Give us something that will truly fill us up again. As always, much love and respect, Saul.
Wow, fuck that guy.
Fuck that guy. Now, perhaps the fan community,
guy.
right? I know.
Holy
that's
shit.
like so self-interested and big-headed. Like perhaps
to believe that you have that much influence in the success of a very successful musician is like some next level like
delusional.
Delusion. Like what the fuck, man? Like doesn't matter how big your fucking forum is, how big your fucking Facebook page is, no matter how big your fucking Instagram reach is or whatever, like you're not the reason that person's successful. Like
right, and you don't generate every single post. You don't generate the fan base that showed up to your place. Like
right.
No matter what, like this podcast isn't going to help Buckethead get big. You know, it may sustain a little bit of interest in him by some people and may turn on a couple people to Buckethead, but
definitely.
Like no matter how big this podcast could ever get, I would never attribute it to causing, giving Buckethead, fandom or popularity. Like he does that on his own with his own art. It's absolutely wild to me that someone would believe this.
It's truly insane.
It's truly fucking
really
delusional.
Fucking weird and dumb. That's crazy.
But you know what? It actually gets fucking weirder, Spencer.
Holy shit. Okay.
Cruising around Buckethead forums, especially Facebook's Buckethead Forever, there are certain super fans that just don't seem to understand that Buckethead is anonymous for a reason. Indeed, one specific user, whose post I can't seem to find, took multiple videos last year of himself driving past Buckethead's childhood home several times, which is just a weird thing to publicly broadcast.
That's pretty weird.
Now, we've discussed Buckethead research and the possibility of maybe going down to California to research Buckethead more fully and maybe speak to some of the people surrounding him, but it honestly seems as though I don't think he wants that.
Right.
Or anything like that.
Right.
The interviews about him... the interviews about him are usually with one of the few people that he trusts and never very illuminating, and that's likely either because Buckethead asked them not to go too deep in interviews, or he's intentionally very cursory and not too deep with them in the first place, so people don't say things about him like that.
Right. Like the thing is that like it's very easy to be enticed by the idea of a mystery, right? And that's part of
Yeah.
his aesthetic, is that it's a mystery. And he's managed to maintain that mysterious aesthetic for a very long time, for over 30 years, you know? And
Right.
that's impressive. Definitely. It's fucking awesome. And like it's very it's very easy to be interested in that. That's something that we both have fallen into. You, I think, even deeper than me about like, I want to know all this stuff about this person because it's a mystery and I want to solve the mystery. But that's not fair to what he's done, you know?
Yeah.
Right? To take it too far, I mean. Like, it's cool to be
Right.
interested in it. It's cool to research about it, but taking the step of like showing up at a place you think he lives, that's fucked up. Like,
Right. And yeah, and the thing is, it's like, yeah, he is a public figure in a way.
Yeah,
But he,
definitely.
you know, he absconds himself from people intentionally. I mean, that's very obvious. This isn't Lost. Like, it's not, he doesn't need a toxic fan base that's going to solve some kind of mystery. He doesn't
Right.
want the mystery solved. Like, you know, he's an individual person. He's not, you know, an actor playing a person. Like, this is Brian Carroll, and Buckethead is his defense mechanism, not necessarily his character. Like, you know, and it's the Buckethead is the reason he feels able to perform for people and put himself out there in the world. And I don't think we would get that if he was just Brian Carroll. So I think, you know,
that's fair.
we need to respect him. And we need
Definitely.
to respect Buckethead's space. He's a unique person with a unique set of needs.
Agreed.
And we should respect his privacy. And,
I
you
agree.
know,
I agree.
we love Buckethead.
We do.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Bucket Facts.
We listen to 3 pikes.
This week.
Hell yeah.
3 more pikes this week. Pike
Yeah.
300. We're in the 300s now, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Pike 301. Pike
Mhm.
302.
Quarry
The Chariot of Saturn.
and cyborg robots and more.
Indeed. Let's hop right into Quarry.
Like
Released on
300.
December 16th, 2021. 19 days after Thought Pond.
Hell yeah.
This one clocks in at 26 minutes and 32 seconds.
Yeah, this has got to be the shortest pike so far. 26 minutes is short as fuck.
Nah, they're shorter.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
We had one last week that was like 36, 20 something. So yeah, there's several, especially when you get into like the 200s and 300s, there's several pikes that are 25, 26-ish minutes long.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I really like the art on this one. It's really cool.
It's all right. So yeah, somewhere in the late 200s, I think pretty much all of the pikes just have Buckethead's art afterwards, except for there's like one new one that doesn't. But for the most part, he's just using like the paintings he did and then selling the paintings, which is cool, I guess.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Oh.
I like the art on this one. I think it looks neat.
Yeah.
It's like a
It's
neat
pretty cool.
portrayal of
The
Buckethead.
art's all right. The album itself is all right at best.
It's all right.
It's
yeah.
it's
a bit of
rockin'.
a-
It's got some thrashy stuff in it, but
Yeah.
more than anything, it's just like very repetitive alt rock. And
Yeah.
by repetitive, I mean there are several songs on here that are 1 or 2 riffs, and that's it. I don't know if I
Yeah.
don't remember any solos in here.
There are no solos on this album.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know if there was any solos on any of the albums.
There
this
were
week,
no
there?
solos on any of the 3 albums.
Yeah, and so
now,
like not
in the
even
case
really
of in
leads.
the case of Pike 301, I feel like that kind of works. But in this
Yeah,
one and
yeah,
the last one, I
but-
don't feel like it works.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, especially since like this is very classic like alt metal Buckethead, except
Yeah.
it's a lot more repetitive than usual.
Yeah, and there's a
And,
little bit
like-
of like blues rocky stuff. It reminded me like if
Yeah.
Led Zeppelin was a thrash band but didn't have
Interesting.
vocals
So-
or guitars.
Interesting. So I kind of went the other direction, and
Uh-huh.
I said it reminded me a little bit of Black Label Society, diet caffeine free with no solos or pinch harmonics,
Sure.
because it's kind of got like this driving, a little southernish, bluesish feel to
Yeah,
it,
Yeah.
but it's also like just not really super upbeat. It's like it's fine. It's very mid tempo.
Yeah,
for the most
the
part.
drum programming is really good. I will say
The
that
drum
like,
programming on all 3 of these
Yeah.
albums are really good, and like really like that's where he usually shines. I think on
Right.
these later pikes, or the drum programming is always good, and oddly enough, he doesn't have a ton of bass. Like some of the
No,
stuff just
there's
doesn't have
no
any bass
bass
at all.
on this album. There's no bass on this album at all. And this album also
Yeah.
does a thing
Well-
that, like, I'm not gonna lie, it's a thing I really don't like, and that is where there's not the guitars aren't double or quad tracked. There's just a single guitar track, and it's
Yeah.
panned to the center, and it sounds
Yeah.
bad. Like, I just don't like that.
Right. And so
It feels
I mean,
lazy.
So I can see why he did that, because I think he wants to give it a sense of space, because the drums are really wide, and then he has synth pads on almost everything on all three of these albums, and all those are super wide, which gives it a nice sense of like some atmosphere and
Sure.
like makes stuff sound a little bit epic, but like with no bass and guitar that's so repetitious, it just like I don't
Yeah,
know.
the
It's not
drums
my
were
favorite
the-
version of Buckethead.
Yeah, it's not my favorite vibe either. The drums kept it interesting enough while I listened to it. And then track 2 has some interesting parts where he's doing like some clean guitar, like funky
Well, yeah,
stuff.
so yeah,
that was kind of
that's
cool.
when it's fine, but he's like basically just playing the same riff, just in kind of like a jazz funk way, and then like
Yeah.
making it metal again. And it's like it's kind of cool to like hear the dynamics, but the fact that he's just like playing the same riff over and over and over in different ways, I just like after like minute 2 or 3, I was like, all right, I'm done with that.
This album feels unfinished. Like it feels like it was
Yeah.
like a first pass, and then like he was gonna go back and like double track the guitars and add some solos and bass, but then just
Yeah.
never did. And
Yeah, it would sound cool with solos.
I think it would actually have been like an above average Pike if it had guitar solos and bass,
probably.
but
Leads, yeah.
but without that, it just feels unfinished, especially compared to his other work. And I feel like that's a valid criticism here. Like it would have felt it has potential to be good. Like there are things about this that are likable. It's just unfortunate how it ended up.
Yeah.
Kind of a bummer.
Also, we should mention the tracks on here are Q1 through Q5, and this is released well after QAnon started posting. And oddly, I think this was released like right as QAnon stopped posting for like 6 months.
So like December 2021
Correct.
or December 2020.
Was it December 2020 or 2021 he stopped? Oh, it was 2020 because it was
2020,
right
'cause
before
right after-
QAnon,
yeah,
or
right
before
before the
the
election,
January
yeah.
6th.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Never mind. So it was a year after that.
Right.
But still, odd
Still.
that he'd like choose Q to go with after QAnon happened.
Is a little odd, but maybe he's experimenting with electronics, because in electronics, like on a schematic,
Yeah,
if you
Q.
the sub for or the symbol for a transistor is going to be Q1 through Q whatever. Well, not always, but like generally speaking, that's the usual like terminology for it.
Yeah.
So maybe he's referring to transistors in electronic circuits.
I mean, he's
Could
not
be.
doing a whole lot of like filtering or filter sweeps here, so it doesn't really make any sense to do that.
That's true, but it could be what he's referencing. I don't know.
It would make more sense if he had like a filter on everything and he had like a Q filter, that would make sense, but he really doesn't. Like he does, and that's the thing here. I think on basically all three of these albums, the most interesting things he does are with effects.
Right.
His guitar parts are generally pretty boring, but he does do some interesting stuff with effects here and there.
But not on this
playing
album.
melodies.
Not
Not on
really
this album, really.
album, no.
There's a couple places where he does like the fucking kill switch with a little bit of like whammy pedal or something. And
He
it's kind of
engages.
cool.
He
but
does engage the kill switch.
He does kill switch engage here.
He
Yeah.
does kill switch engage here.
Mhm.
You know what? I think that band's cover of Dio's Holy Diver
Holy
is
Diver.
pretty awesome.
It is really awesome.
I think
I
it's
was actually
really
just
fun.
going to mention that because I was watching some wrestling the other day, and
Uh-huh.
like one of the guys had that cover, and I'm like, you know what? This is a
It's
pretty
pretty
good cover.
fucking rad, right? Like
Yeah.
I actually re-listened to it a few months ago just because it popped into my head randomly. I was like,
Well,
I should listen to that, and I did.
and
And I was
the
like,
thing
this is actually like really fun.
So
like,
I think they did a good job with the cover because they didn't try to make it sound like a Kill Switch Engage song. They're just like, let's just do an updated version of the exact same song.
I mean, they do a little bit of like chunky guitars and like kick
A
and
little bit,
guitar.
but they don't have
sort of
like a
stuff.
2-minute breakdown and shit. It's not. It doesn't sound like a Kill Switch Engage song. It sounds like Kill Switch doing Dio, which
Sure.
works.
Sure. Yeah, it does work. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. Recommended.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we gotta make this more upbeat. We gotta joke about something here. Okay. All right. Fast food
Mm-hmm.
Fast food bathrooms. We're going back to that. Back to that
Mm-hmm.
endless wellspring of content.
Sure.
What is the best and worst fast food bathrooms you've encountered?
Who? Like in general, or like
Just like specifically, like
specifically?
I mean, it could be general, but like what chains have the best bathrooms?
Yeah, I'm gonna go for general here because I can't think of any specific restrooms that I've been in that are like, oh my god, why?
Right.
So generally, Wendy's have some pretty shitty bathrooms.
Oh yeah,
for
I'd
sure.
agree. Yeah.
The nicer ones I would say are gonna be in places that are more like the higher tier, like more fast casual places. Like Carl's Jr. has a decent restroom.
No, Five Guys. Five Guys bathroom.
Five
is
Guys
usually
definitely always
pretty
has a
good.
nice restroom.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very simple, but like they keep it clean usually and shit like that.
Yeah.
McDonald's actually usually has a pretty good restroom. They didn't in the 90s, I feel, but like
Yeah,
once
they
they
had a bad
updated and started putting like
reputation.
fireplaces and shit in McDonald's, like they really kind of upped their game.
Right. I haven't been into a McDonald's bathroom in a while, but yeah,
You know
the
what
last
always,
one I was in
you know what
was
always surprises
pretty
me
alright.
is like fucking most Starbucks restrooms have a code on their door and they're still dog shit bathrooms.
Really? So like
99% of the
I
time.
feel like the Starbucks range is a little big, but generally speaking, I feel like they're usually pretty good bathrooms. Unless the Starbucks you go to is like in the middle of a city, in which case it's
I
gonna
think
be
that's a
fucking
problem is I
insane.
don't know
Yeah.
like the last time I went to like a non-urban Starbucks restaurant.
I have been to Starbucks restrooms that were like approaching gas station bathrooms levels.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of like
That's what I'm
insanity.
talking
I was like, whoa.
Yeah, wow.
I mean, I can't blame them. Coffee makes you want to shit, sure. But like, I've also been into
Guess.
a lot of Starbucks restrooms that I would say are very nice. So
Yeah.
I don't know. They have the biggest range of quality. I feel like biggest range.
Perhaps they do.
Um,
Yeah. How about you? What are your over and under for the
Five Guys and Starbucks, I would lump in the higher tier, as far as fast food. Low tier, McDonald's. Based on my experiences, I do believe you that they've upped their game. I believe that 100%. But
They definitely have.
I
mean,
yet
and it's one of those
experienced
things too where there's definitely an urban non-urban divide.
it. Oh
like,
yeah, certainly.
Urban fast food restaurants in general, their restrooms are fucking war zone. Like
yeah,
the
definitely.
the Third Avenue McDonald's here, their restroom,
Oh my god.
like it's so crazy. They don't even have a door code. They have to buzz you in like it's a fucking bank vault.
Of course,
it's
they do.
nuts.
Yeah. That
Yeah,
sounds likely. I've never used it, but that
wild.
seems insane. Oh my god, bottom of the fucking tier, Safeway. I know that's not a fast food restaurant, but like,
That's not a fast food restaurant at all.
dude, their bathrooms are the worst
Dude,
fucking
yeah,
bathrooms I've
so-
ever been in.
100%. There's a fucking Safeway here in Kirkland, which is one of the
Fancy.
richest communities in the world.
Fancy area.
It's super fancy. Everything here is clean at all times, except for the Safeway restroom. It's like
Is
you
that the one on
step out-
85th?
Yeah, it's up on
Dude, yeah,
Rose
I've been
Hill
to that
85th, yeah.
bathroom.
Yeah,
Fuck that
yeah, no, like
bathroom.
it's a nice store, and you walk out from like a nice Safeway straight into just like a place that inexplicably smells like a fucking campground restroom at all
Right,
times.
Right.
You
Yeah,
know,
it's absolutely
it smells like
fucked.
a porta potty, and it doesn't make any sense. It's like someone pissed under the ceiling tiles and they let it ferment. I don't understand how a room can always smell like that, because it always smells
Mm-hmm.
like piss and just a little bit of bleach. Like they fucking hose down the whole thing, but someone like pissed in the vents or the HVAC system, so they just can't get the smell out. It's terrible.
Piss in the
don't
HVAC
understand.
is a sick band name.
Pissing in the HVAC is maybe that's the name of the episode.
It's pretty good. Yeah, no, okay. It's so okay. I've completely derailed the question, but I have to cite another public restroom that is insane. The most insane public restroom I have ever been in is the O'Reilly's bathroom. The O'Reilly's on Aurora Avenue in fucking Seattle, in fucking North Seattle. Their bathroom is the gnarliest bathroom. There is a literal Shroud of Turin fucking like outline of a man on the fucking wall. It's insane. It's insane. Like it hasn't been cleaned in years. There's a layer of like dust and piss on everything that's like
Love that.
approaching a centimeter thick. It's fucking insane. It's the most insane bathroom I've ever seen in my life. It's fucking just so much piss for dude piss for years. It's fucking
that.
fucked.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So, but okay. Also, I was gonna say low tier Subway. Just Subway is low tier in general. I feel like in most categories.
It's like how are you gonna keep a fucking restroom clean when you have 2 employees maximum ever?
right.
Like Subways are weird and they're meant to like survive with 1 or 2 employees maximum.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like you can't run a business with 1 or 2 employees. It's gonna fall to dog shit unless like these 2 people sacrifice like their mental and physical well-being to run this place.
Yeah, dude. Food service is a fucking grinder. It is just there
it
to
is.
exploit
And not
unfortunate
cool like
people.
the app grinder where you get to have sex with dudes.
I mean, they probably do that at Subway too.
Nah,
The Subway
not
glory
enough.
hole. You've never been?
Mm-mm,
Okay. Yeah.
No, they don't offer the footlong there.
Yet. 6 inches only.
Yeah.
Maximum.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good. With that, let's get into
Pike 301, The Chariot of Saturn,
Hell,
released on December 18th, 2021, just 2 days after Quarry.
this one also has pretty cool art. I think this art's pretty
Yeah,
rad.
definitely done by Buckethead himself. Clocks in at 27:39.
Mhm.
It's a mid-ish.
Right.
one. So this one's a big long song, just
Right.
one song called "The Chariot of Saturn,"
Mhm.
and I think this is probably going to be my pike for the week.
It's my
I
pike of the
didn't
week as well.
especially love any of the pikes this week,
Right.
but this one was like I'd say the most interesting, the most dynamic,
And the most
and
atmospheric.
the most enjoyable.
Yeah, and most
Yeah, yeah.
most enjoyable. Yeah, I completely agree with you. I feel exactly the
Mm.
same about it. It is not my favorite Pike, but it is okay. He at least does the
Yeah.
slow build up and release thing a few times, and it like makes
Yeah,
sense.
it's dynamic
It's
enough.
dynamic, yeah.
It's not. I wouldn't say it's like a metal album quite.
No.
There are definitely metal elements in it. It's more though like
post rock kind of.
alt. Yeah, it's somewhere between like alt metal and post rock, and there's a lot of elements of like doom metal in here. Like he does a lot of slow sustained riffs.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, it's usually just one guitar. It'd be a lot cooler if he did a bunch of like cool slow harmonies like doom metal.
Yeah, yeah, and with bass too.
But he also has like driving drums and like really big keyboards in this album, which make
Right.
it sound kind of doomy to me.
Definitely. I did, but no
Um,
bass. Like there's no bass here.
No
as
bass
well.
again. I don't.
There's no bass on
I don't
any of
know.
these 3 Pikes.
Yeah, which makes me wonder if because we know that, or at least Dan Monty stopped crediting himself with working on the Pikes in 2017, and there's only like 40 Pikes after 2017. Like the 2017 Pikes are somewhere in like the 280s,
Mhm.
290s. So it's weird.
It's weird.
It's weird.
It's a weird
I hope-
situation.
Yeah, I hope he's still working with Brewer, but we
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah, I hope so too. Yeah, I don't really know. It's pretty strange. Though this Pike is perfectly fine. It is
It's fine.
enjoyable enough. It's definitely the most enjoyable of the week of our
Yeah.
allotment of Pikes, but it is, not exceptional.
It's not exciting at any point.
Right.
Like it's fine background music. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
it's a Pike that most guitars could probably play, which is, I guess, nice.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, here Buckethead's playing a lot of stuff that I could play, which I'm like, I guess that's cool. It's good for guitarists that are just starting out, be able to have some stuff that Buckethead made that's accessible to them. But it's like, I don't know. It's
Yeah,
still.
it could have been more. There's no leads on this.
Mhm.
There's no solos. Like, I think this
Nope.
could have been more interesting with maybe another guitar track.
Yeah, I mean, there's no leads, no solos, no bass, no second guitar. It's very bare bones,
Right.
just like the last album. And it's like,
Though this one, thanks to, like you said, thanks to the keyboards, it actually like makes it feel a little more filled out, makes it feel a little bit better.
I mean, there
but-
are basically these same keyboards in the last one. They're just mixed back a bunch more,
Mm.
and I mean, they're mixed like to the not to the front, but like to the sides with a ton of reverb on here, and so they take up most of the what's not in the front of the mix. So
right.
it's
Yeah.
it's fine.
It's
It's fine.
It's
It's not very intense, not very loud. Dynamic enough. I'd say more dynamic than the other 2 albums this
Definitely,
week. But at the
definitely
same
more
time, it's like Also, like, not as exciting as the other two ones this week, but none of them are really exciting. They're all just, they're fine.
What the
They're fine.
heck? All right.
Yeah. What is the last chariot of Saturn you rode? What would you consider the last chariot of Saturn? Or what was the last chariot that you rode, and where would you consider the Saturn that it took you to?
Wow. Okay, I have 3 answers off the top of my head. They're all weird, so we're just gonna go with all
Sure, go
3.
for it.
So the first thing that popped into my head is a picture I have of myself in Christmas 2018, sitting in a Santa's sleigh that they had at the mall that I worked at. So I have that picture, and that's a chariot of sorts, a sleigh.
Yep.
The second answer comes from a video game that I only played at the time of its release, and that is Prince of Persia 3. Wow, what the fuck is the subtitle of that one? The Twin Thrones, or something like that. I think
the Twin Towers.
Yeah, the Twin Towers. Thanks. It came out in 2004. I remember that, and the only reason I remember that is because there's a chariot sequence in the early part of that game where you're riding on a chariot, and that was a chariot that took me somewhere.
Do you ride the chariot into a World Trade Center?
That's a game I want to play. I do. I'd play that game. That sounds great.
Prince of Persia Jihad.
Yeah, exactly. And then my third answer was the time I was driving in a Lyft, and the Lyft driver just like, he was going to take a turn across like a busy road, and it was in the middle of the night. It was pretty late. It was like 2 or 3 in the morning. And he just like didn't look to see if there were any cars coming, and just pulled right in front of these people, and they all slammed, like 2 cars that were coming, and they slammed on their brakes and like swerved off the road. And he was just like, whatever. And I screamed. I was like, bro, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck are you doing? And then he was just like, oh yeah, sorry, man. And then he ran over a curb. And it was fucking terrifying. I was like, what the fuck, bro? Like, go get some sleep, man. Like, I've probably just been doing this for too long, but like, I also felt kind of bad because I was like, dude, that's a super shitty job and you don't get paid enough. And I don't know. But it was a shitty situation that dude endangered my life. So the Saturns I was taken to in those circumstances, number 1 with Christmas, depression. Number 2, video games. I didn't like that game that much, so just, a mediocre time. Number 3, it took me to a state of anxiety that I then grappled with for the rest of the ride.
Oh, he took you on a rocket ship to a Saturn of Fury.
Exactly.
Cool.
Uh-huh.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. You got an answer for that one?
I don't know, man. Yeah. Oh shit. No, I was gonna do that today. I was gonna take my chariot today to Goodwill.
Oh yeah, I was gonna go to Goodwill too.
The Saturn of Goodwill to donate like a ton of shit I found in my storage space. Which reminds me, I found some fun stuff in the storage space, including probably the last 3 Corruption shirts in existence.
What? You have them? Oh my god!
I have 3 orange logo shirts in XL. That's all I have.
Wow, that's so cool. I don't have a Corruption shirt. Just terrible. If you want to part with one of those, you can talk. You can negotiate.
Well, if you send me shipping money and I'll send one to you.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
But it is XL, so it's gonna look fucking hilarious on you.
That adds to the aesthetic, I think, at this point.
Yeah, you're gonna look like fucking Sonic Mayhem wearing a shirt like 5 sizes too big.
Yeah,
like,
that's a reference for no one.
Which I was thinking about it today.
Uh-huh.
I need you to realize something, Spencer.
Oh no. No.
You and I.
No.
You and I. You know what's coming.
No,
you and I are the
you're
exact same
Don't
age.
say it.
You and I are the exact same age right now as Sonic Mayhem when we first met him.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes. Yes.
I hate this.
Here's the difference. Here's the reason you shouldn't be feeling bad, Spencer.
What's that?
We're not trying to start metal bands with 16-year-olds,
That's
okay?
true. That's true.
We're in a
not
better
doing
place,
that.
I'd say. Our mother doesn't live with us. Like,
That's true. That's true. Yet. We're not trying to start metal bands with 16-year-olds yet. But yeah, you're right. We
True.
are the same age as Sonic Mayhem when we met him. That's for those wondering, Sonic Mayhem is an old guitar player guy who
I think we have a full bonus episode about him. Don't
we do. So we have
that's
that.
on the
If you want to
Patreon,
know the context behind that, that episode is out there. Suffice it to say, he was a guy who in his 30s started a metal band with us as 16 and 17-year-olds respectively, and that was a time, pretty
Kinda weird.
strange time. And now we live to pay that cycle forward. Britt, let's start a band with some teenagers.
Hell yeah. Speaking of starting a band with some teenagers, Pike 302, Cyborgs, Robots, and More.
Hell yeah.
Released on December 31st, 2021, 13 days after Charity of the Sun, and the day before 2022.
I definitely believe he could have put this album together in 13 days.
Yeah. So this is fine. This
This
is going to
is
be my
fine.
second favorite album of the week, but also not very exciting.
Not very
I do
exciting.
like what he did with the track titles. He named them, the album's name is Cyborgs, Robots, and More, and the track titles are Cyborg, Robot, and More, and then the last one is Wooden's Warm-Ups.
That's fun.
That was a fun
like
Bed Bath and Beyond type
Uh-huh.
joke. I really like that.
Yeah.
I like the first track a lot actually. It's kind of like a bucketed doom metal type song.
Uh-huh.
Tons of effects and synth envelopes. And like big backing, but kind of subtle keyboard pads.
Yeah, but he's doing this like effects driven thing with his guitar.
There's a lot of
where he's
effects
doing
on this
a lot
album.
of like
Tons of
whammy
effects.
on the guitar.
Yeah, he's doing a lot of whammy pedal. He's doing a lot of like synth envelope stuff. He's
Right.
doing a lot of kill switch to do like kind of short melodies and
He's
stuff like that.
engaging the kill switch. Yeah.
He is. There's actually a really cool part in the song about 5.5 minutes through where he does like this 3-note arpeggio. He's like like a whole bunch over like some slow drums,
Right.
and it sounds like really like a cool like almost like a I don't know, like a doom metal breakdown, like early doom metal. It's really fucking sick.
Yeah.
I like this song a lot.
Yeah, there are definitely like parts that on this one that I was like, oh, okay, and there were parts on it where I was like, it sounds so familiar. You know, it's not bad.
Yeah.
It's just familiar, and there's no bass, and it's just
no
like,
bass, which is kind of disappointing.
Though to his credit, he does do a lot of like whammy stuff that does pitch his guitar down. So it's
and there's pretty much always keyboards that are handling some bass frequencies, so it doesn't sound like empty.
yeah,
with
but
the lack
it
of
but it
bass
definitely doesn't sound
necessarily.
as full as it would sound if there was a
Right.
proper bass or the
Right.
synth taking up a proper bass range.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
Second song, Robot, kind of driving metal rocker with some funk elements,
Mhm.
and it kind of morphs into like an effects laden melody halfway through and just kind of stays there.
Mhm.
It's like kind of speed metal, but also like funk alt metal. It's a decent song. It kind of defies categorization, but it's also kind of repetitive. It's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah.
I feel like this really kind of ramps down this whole album. Like it gets
Also, weirdly
back
enough,
after that.
when I was listening to this album for whatever reason was like constantly being interrupted by ads. Like I was interrupted by 4 ads while listening to this one album, which almost never happens when I'm listening to Buckethead albums. Like it's like a super rare thing. So for it to happen this many times with this one, it was just so weird. I was like, why this one? I don't know.
You should like you, me, maybe Beck, and a couple other people should just get together and do the fucking YouTube family plan.
Can you have like multiple accounts tied to that?
5 of them, yeah.
Oh fuck yeah, dude! Let's do
and
that.
it's,
That'd
and it's
be tight.
$22 a month for 5 people, and ad.
Even if we were
It's like
splitting
4 or
that
5 bucks
between
a
the
person.
3 of us, that's still cheaper than YouTube Premium.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And like YouTube Premium, I have YouTube Premium. I pay like full price a couple of years ago for it, but
yeah.
and it's totally worth it. I fucking love it. I just
I would
watch a
be
lot of
very
YouTube
down
stuff.
to do that. Like, let's talk
Mhm.
about that. That'd be great.
Like, you'll literally save like at least like 10 minutes every week just on the fucking Bucket
the
Cast.
ads are like irritating as fucking. Like the thing I hate the most about the YouTube ads is like depending on what device you're playing YouTube on, it will show you more ads or not or less. So like when I play YouTube on my fucking LG like OLED TV, they show me a billion ads because they're like, you've got money, so you're gonna get all the fucking ads. Because like it's fucking dumb as shit. I hate it.
Yeah, I've been spending a lot of money at Home Depot lately on my card, and of course, you know, Home Depot uses Salesforce. So
Orange Hat Larry,
now all of
Orange Hat Larry. Have you seen him?
I've seen Orange Hat Larry. I haven't interacted with him though, unfortunately,
Damn it.
because I know where stuff is. Unfortunately, I'm like, fuck. I wish I was lost.
You should just go up and say
but,
what's
you know,
up to him. Just talk to him. Just see what his favorite band is.
Oh, I bet it's like.
Creedence.
I bet he is the guy from Earth.
Oh,
You know, he looks
Earth.
like him.
Okay, yeah, that'd be tight. That'd be cool.
I keep on seeing this guy in Capitol Hill who looks exactly like the guy from Earth, but I don't want to ask him because like every old dude with a beard who's really skinny looks like the guy from
That's
Earth.
true. That's true.
And I think the guy from Earth lives here. But
I thought he lived in Olympia, but maybe he lives in
was
Capitol
it?
Hill now.
I don't know. I know he lives somewhere around here ish.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, totally.
um,
I met one of the dudes from Sun at my old work. Did I tell you that?
I mean, how do you know for sure?
Oh, okay. So there's a story behind it. So I was like,
Did he come in his cloak?
yeah, he came in with a cloak and was like, and I was like, oh yeah, you're from Sun. No.
Like,
So like I was on the floor at my old work, a representative for a major technology company, and
Password University.
that's where I'm at.
Password Squad.
Yeah, Password Squad, exactly. And so I saw this like little girl run in. I say little girl, she was probably like 8, maybe, I don't know how old kids are. And she was like wandering around looking at stuff, and there was like a guy following her around that was like clearly her dad or whatever. And she was wearing a Sun shirt, and it was like a really like it had like a really cool design on it, and it was like way too big for her. So she was wearing it kind of like she was wearing pants, but it was like kind of looked like a dress on her, which I thought was funny.
Sure.
But it was like a Sun shirt. It had like it was definitely like it was a design I'd never seen, and it was like a really complicated, like there's a lot of print on it.
Wait, shouldn't she have been wearing a daughter's shirt?
Wow. Yeah, that's a relevant joke. I'll take it. So I was like, immediately I was like, oh, that's cool that there's a kid wearing a Sun shirt. Like that's funny. So I was like, I was like hanging out near where she was, and I was like, hey, I like your shirt. That's pretty awesome. And then she was like, oh, thank you. He's in the band. And then points at like the guy that was with her. And then the guy gives me a look that's like, hi. like he didn't want to be identified as the guy in the band.
Hi, I'm Sun Dad.
Yeah. Like, hi, I am Sun. And I was like, oh, that's cool, man. Y'all are pretty awesome. And he was like, thanks. And that was it. But I thought it was
I'm surprised
funny.
he wasn't like, what? What'd you say? What?
Yeah.
Like those guys have to have zero hearing at this point,
Right.
unless they like have industrial grade earplugs on at every show.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised they don't just wear those like giant earmuffs.
Hey, they might. They're wearing cloaks. We don't know.
That's true. They probably do wear those,
Yeah.
and they just can't even hear their own song. They're just whatever.
Define
Just play
song,
long notes. There's a bunch of notes. All right,
notes,
There's notes.
huh? Define
Frequencies
notes.
happening together. You know,
Uh,
instruments making a frequency.
a frequency, yeah, frequencies.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're definitely frequencies with that band for sure. No, that band's tight.
They're the frequency of the weakwency.
Oh, that's pretty good. We should have a segment called "Frequency of the Weakwency."
Should we?
No, I don't know. Yeah, this Pike's okay. I guess it's fine.
Yeah,
Hey, Buckethead,
a lot
do
of
some guitar
repetition.
solos. Come on.
Some meandering. You know, I liked the drum programming on the third track. Last track was some decent metal riffing.
Right,
with
like,
the
Drum programming again. Shout out has been fantastic in all
drum
three of these
programming.
Pikes.
Also,
really good.
also the keyboards sound really cool. Keyboard pads sound great. It's just like the problem is they're taking the place of the bass most of the time, and we like bass and things.
We like bass Here.
Bring back bass.
Bring back
Bring back
bass.
bass.
Bring back 8.
Yeah. Flea would hate these albums.
Flea,
Say
well,
that
Flea would
much.
be mad. I think that whenever Flea doesn't hear bass, he just like pulls out a bass and adds a bass line. He seems like that sort of
Probably
guy.
right. He does seem like
Yeah,
that.
he's like, yeah, take this bass line.
I'd like to hear like different bassists like do different takes on albums.
Oh, yeah.
And I'd really like to hear Flea and his take on And Justice for All.
Yeah,
I think that'd be sick.
that would be fun. That'd be fun.
Mhm.
I would listen to that. Why don't
Right. I'd
more
like to
like
hear-
famous bass players do shit like that? Like that'd be fun.
I don't know. You know what I really like? There's that guy. I showed you a video of his. I sent you a video of his, I think, online. He was playing some fucking metal song, but he was playing it like fucking like rumba kind of.
Oh yeah, you did send me that.
What
Yeah,
was
that
it?
was fun.
It was like a Metallica song
Yeah,
or
I
something.
think it was-
Oh yeah, it was Fuel.
Yeah.
It was Give Me Fuel.
And he,
And he's like boom ba-doon da-doon ba-do-do-do-do, boom ba-doon, and it sounded so fucking cool.
yeah. That guy
It was
was
like different.
slamming. He was tight. That was some cool shit. Like,
Yeah, I would love to do like some fucking calypso rumba metal. That'd be so fucking
oh
cool.
man. So I've been talking about this for years. I first started talking about this in 2012. I remember this specifically because that's when I had the idea. I'm telling you, reggae black metal. Like reggae black metal could be a thing. It's like, I mean, that it's kind of what Oranzi
I
Pazuzu
could see-
does, but like, yeah, reggae black metal could be a thing.
I could see more like reggae dub would make sense because it's a bit more like effects laden and stuff like that.
Yeah, like a dub backing track, but then you're just like doing tremolo picked
Like,
riffs over it, and you're like, "Ah!" You know?
Boom.
Yeah, exactly.
Could work.
I don't know. Somebody,
Could probably suck though. It'd probably really suck.
yeah, it probably would suck, but somebody would be into it. Somebody would impregnate another person while listening to it. You know,
Mhm.
that's what happens.
So, given cyborgs, robots, and more, what's more?
It more is the like Beyond section of Bed Bath and Beyond,
Ah,
right?
so what is that?
Well, I think it's like
Is it just Beyond Meat?
no. In the case of an actual Bed Bath and Beyond, I think they're just referring to like the candy they sell by the checkout. Like, I think that's the more. I'm not sure actually.
Mm.
You ever use the bathroom at a Bed Bath and Beyond?
No. Yeah, I think I have.
Yeah,
Is that the Beyond? Bed, bathroom, and beyond?
yeah. I don't know. It could be. I would say that more accompanies everything, right? Because everything is more than that.
So this album is just everything, the album.
Yeah. It's
I don't
really
think he
not.
covered everything
He
very
definitely
well.
didn't cover everything. He covers everything in some albums, though. You know, like Jeopardy Backwards. He does that.
Sure.
But if you had to have a meal that encompassed everything that you could eat, like, but it had to be in a single thing, like in a single pasta dish, or in a big sandwich, or in a burrito, or in a cake, or in a casserole, what would you choose? What vessel would you choose to have an everything meal, a more meal?
And everything? I don't want an everything meal. That sounds disgusting. That's way too many flavors.
Yeah, but you're gonna be gifted it, so you got to choose a.
So if I have to choose, I'm going to choose a street taco because it's going to taste like shit. So I want something very small.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, so I can just chomp down that taco and be like, oh, that sucked. I'm going to eat real food.
Yeah.
It doesn't taste like fucking sweet smoke and vinegar.
Sweet smoke and vinegar is a nice flavor combo.
Could be, but I'm talking about like, I don't know, just too
Talking
much.
about like
Too much.
apple Jolly Ranchers and barbecue brisket and fucking
No.
like
That sounds amazing, actually. Those two things. But add like marshmallows in
Yeah,
there,
yeah,
and suddenly
yeah,
it's
yeah.
dog shit.
you're always
Yeah.
talking shit on marshmallows. You're the
I fucking hate
anti-marshmallow
marshmallows.
gang.
Fucking marshmelons, as fucking Spock says. You dumb bitch.
Yeah, sure. Spock says that.
Yeah,
What else does Spock say
he does. He
that you find
live long and prosper.
inspiring? Long Dong
Mhm.
and Shocker.
Long Dong? What?
Long Dong.
Hang Dong. And
I know, but you could. I know. I was doing a riff on
You
it.
could, but that's not our marketing. We're trying to sell goddamn merch that says Hang Dong and Shocker. Fucking reinforce that, goddammit.
Okay, all right, fair enough. I'm here for it. Okay, well, let's wrap things up with that. Okay, cool. You ready to go on an adventure with me?
Yeah.
Statements from the Bucket
Oh my,
My-
God. Wow. Oh my God. Wow. We're here. We're here. It's part of the show where we look at YouTube comments and laugh about them. Ha ha ha. Kicking things off. Sean C says 3 days ago. Yeah, I was expecting a bowling theme, as in making 300. But one's quarry is cool too.
Should have been Bowling for Columbine themed. All right.
Yes, exactly. Michael Moore. That's what we want to see. We want more Michael Moore.
But yeah, that's the Moore
Exactly.
in Cyborgs, Robots, and More. It's Michael Moore.
Exactly.
Cyborgs, Robots, and Michael Moore.
Exactly. Amir Ali Rasuli says 8 months ago, the one and only Buckethead. The history won't forget this legend with over 400 albums and 4,000 songs. No one has done this in centuries. Always proud of him and have to say he changed my life. Long live Buckethead. Heart emoji.
I like that energy. It's good
Yeah,
energy.
no one has done this in centuries, Britt. So who was the last person to have over 400 albums and 4,000
Mozart.
songs in another century?
Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, 100%.
He has 400 albums?
Yeah, let's say so.
Okay.
Well, he has way over 400 albums. Like, if you count all of the people who have covered his work and recorded his work, he's got thousands and thousands of
I
albums.
guess that's true, but it's also like a lot of the same stuff, though. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh. Yeah, so Buckethead repeats a lot of stuff.
I guess. Okay, so in researching this, well, so I actually wanted to look into it because somebody else in the comments made some interesting claims, and so in looking into this, I found a band called Bowl of Heaven. Do you know about this band?
No.
Oh my God! So I'm going to tell you about Bowl of Heaven. Okay, so Bowl of Heaven currently has 518 albums, right? And they have albums that are extremely long. So we're going to talk about how long their albums are for a second because it's pretty fucking fascinating. They've put out an immense amount of music. So even early on in their history, right, they became known for having songs that were really long. So their 19th release was called Hypnosis, Drugs, and Mind Control, and it is 8 hours long. Their 28th album is 24 albums long, or 24 hours long.
24.
Their
Wow, that's
Their
stupid.
44th album, A Corpse in My Arms, A Corpse in My Arms on Awakening, is over 1 day long. It is 37 hours long. And then their 45th album, they're immediately released out after their 44th album, is 168 hours long.
Sucks.
Brit,
No one wants that.
Brit, we're just scratching the surface, though. Things become more insane. So they continued to experiment with very long songs. So their 118th release, The Chosen Priest and the Apostle of Infinite Space, is a piece that is over
hate that.
2 months long.
What's the point?
Oh, yeah, I don't know. So every album they released from 145 to 152 all are over 150 hours long. So that's cool.
Mhm.
So they continued this. their 208th release, As You Etch on the Inner Window of Your Eye, is 916 hours long. 209, Blurred with Tears, and Blurred with Tears and Suffering Beyond Hope, is 4,723 hours long. But they are both beat. All of these are beat by their 210th release. Their immediate next release after this, it is 50,000 hours long. So
That's stupid. Like this is stupid. This isn't music. Like, what's the point in being in a band where you don't listen to the music that you make? It doesn't make any sense. Like, they're never gonna be able to perform this live. It's just like, it's a fucking gimmick. They're a gimmick band.
So they have performed live.
2 shows ever. 2 shows, ever.
So they have a few.
Once in Denver and once in St. Louis.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't performed in 8 years live together, and one of the members left the band.
Well, he died.
Time, so
he died.
Oh, he died? So yeah, he left the band.
He did leave the band. He did leave the band.
I was right.
Right.
I said what he said.
You did say what you said. So they have a couple other long albums that we just need to touch on here. Their 286th release.
Wait, did he die of boredom?
It's possible.
Because I would have died of boredom.
Their 286th release is 29 million hours long. I'm not joking.
You know what this is? I would classify this music as dork ambient.
And then their 287th release is 87 trillion hours long. I'm not joking. That is actually the length of it, which is pretty cool. So
that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard of.
That they are making via math to make it as long as it is. So that's how they're doing it. So they beat this again though, this is the one that I really wanted to talk about. Their 310th release, which is just a very long number, is the name of it, and it is 3.343 quindecillion years long.
Cool.
But in addition to this, the band has actually released actual music. So they have released several psychedelic rock albums, experimental hip hop, sound collage, fusion jazz, and post rock. So it's interesting that they've managed to do this. I like the idea of an album that is 3.43 quindecillion years long. That's pretty cool and impossible to listen to, and it's kind of neat. So yeah.
So you want to know my favorite factoid about these guys here?
Tell me.
In May of 2016, Bowl of Heaven were featured in a Scholastic article entitled "Unperformable Works and the Ontology of Music" in the British Journal of Aesthetics, published by Oxford University Press.
That's awesome. I love that. That's great.
Wild.
Jacqueline Holdsworth, it leaves the most British comment of all time 2 months ago. I wish Buckethead could have played at the Queen's Platinum Jubilee Party concert.
That would have killed the Queen of England.
Yeah, definitely.
She would have died.
She would have died from that.
That would have rattled the bones off of her skin, and
the bones off of her skin.
Prince Charles,
implying her bones are already outside of her skin.
Rattle the bones off of her skin. Yeah, I said what I said.
Yeah, you did. Mike Harrison says 8 months ago, better than my 300-pound girlfriend. Thumbs up emoji, wink emoji.
I don't know what that means.
Don't know either. 3 thumbs up, though. I like that other people were like, yeah, this album's better than Fat Chicks for sure.
Wait, is that my 300-pound girlfriend also sounds like a show on like TLC or something.
I think that like the show is like my 3,000-pound girlfriend or something.
3,000? Yeah, there's someone who's 3,000 pounds. Sure.
Probably, right? I don't know.
No.
Okay. Jackster Attacks says 8 months ago, happy holidays. What do I mean by this? Well, not Christmas nor Hanukkah. Nay to Kwanzaa. Because it's Merry 300 Pikes. Do you also say nay to Kwanzaa, Brit?
Yeah, if I was a horse, what's up?
Hey, nay.
Like, let's do this, boy.
Graydon's Katsach says 8 months ago, every song sound the same. A digital jam. No human feeling. Is this a program? And Ion Cotter Night. I don't know how to say that.
Caterinkuink.
Something like that. Says 7 months ago, are you a program?
Cool.
Yeah, pretty cool. That guy was like hating on everybody that was hating on these albums. So everybody that was hating on the albums, they were like, he was like, you're not a real fan because you don't like the thing as much as I like the thing.
That's such toxic
hate that
fandom
shit.
to be
It's so
like,
dumb.
if you don't worship every like part of this thing, you don't like
Right.
it. I'm like,
There's a lot of that
that's
shit in
not
the
how
Star
fandom
Trek
works.
fandom, dude. So many people are like that. It's
Yeah,
so
right?
annoying.
It's weird to believe that there is like no place in media for critique. It's super fucking
I
strange.
think that it's just
Doesn't make
dumb
any sense.
people that are like that. Just shout out to Thomas Knight Wagoner for dropping his flack card here in the comments. Man, I would kill to get this in flack.
You know, it's no AUG, but I get you, man. I mean, you
Yeah, I
can
know.
get it
So
in FLAC.
people-
You can get anything in FLAC from
Exactly.
Bandcamp.
So people informed
Band-
him. They were like, "Hey,
Bandcamp,
you can easily get this in FLAC." I just
Yeah, because Bandcamp, if I'm not mistaken, offers everything in MP3, FLAC, and
Correct,
WAVE,
correct.
right? Do they don't offer ACC, do they?
or
AAC?
I don't know.
I don't think
I don't
so. I mean, it's almost the exact same compression algorithm as WAVE, though. Like, there's very little difference
Right,
between the
right.
two. Which is, it's weird to me that we haven't unified the lossless audio codec yet, honestly.
Yeah,
Isn't that weird?
Yeah, it is. It's a little odd. It's a little odd because they're both,
They're
they're
basically the same thing. Like,
so I
Yeah.
don't-
like they're
right.
basically the same container
Mm-hmm.
size. They're, I mean, the same bit rate because you can't really change the
They're
bit rate on
lossless, yeah,
lossless.
so-
Like,
I don't know.
yeah.
Very odd. Very odd.
Mhm.
Moving on. Jonas Ackerland says 7 months ago, Buckethead died 1 year ago. I wonder who is making these albums in his name.
That's an interesting theory.
It is. Well, Buckethead just played live the other day, so you're
Yeah.
wrong. But interesting theory.
Mm-hmm.
Hernandez, 8 months ago, masterfully demonstrating the proximity that music has to infinity.
Okay, so this comment doesn't make any sense at all, but I like it. a
Yeah,
lot.
same. Like,
I like it a lot.
I don't
That's
know
it
how
rules.
close the proximity of music to infinity. That's heavy questions from a heavy mind.
Yo, Doug, maybe music is infinity.
Oh
you know?
yeah.
I mean, it fucking Bowl of Heaven made a song that's almost infinity minutes
That's
long.
true.
So
It's 3.43 quintillion years long.
It's I believe it's literally infinity minus 1 minutes long. Like,
Yeah, so you could do it. You could listen to it. We could listen to nothing but Bowl of Heaven for the rest of our lives. Do you realize that?
yeah, we could. I mean, yeah, our humans could listen to nothing but Bowl of Heaven for the rest of the progression of the species. And once Homo erectus dies out, Bowl of Heaven will still be
Yeah,
playing. You know, we should have sent a Bowl of Heaven song on one of the Voyager things, and then like the fucking the alien would pick it up and be like, "What the fuck?" Like,
Yeah, it's pretty good.
yeah.
Daniil Raphael says 8 months ago, woke up this morning feeling down, negative thought until I hear this. Thanks, Buckethead. You just lit up my day.
Yeah, because he's smoking a lid. You know what I'm saying? Puff, 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 puff. Most people don't know what
I've
a
never
lid
heard
is.
that.
A lid is 2 bowls. A lid is 2 bowls.
2 bowls. Like at the same time?
2 bowls. It's just an amount of
Oh.
weed you can buy.
Oh, I've never heard that. That must be a different place thing.
Different time
Oh.
thing, really. It was a thing in like the 70s and 80s.
Okay. All right. I believe it. There's a lot of weird shit back then. Ben S. does some great bucket baking here 8 months ago. This is about Pike 301, the Chariot of Saturn. And he says, The death figure in the left of the painting is a nod to Kronos. Kronos was the ancient Roman symbol of Saturn, time, and death.
Cool.
Yeah. I love a bucket bake.
Yep.
So, yeah, go ahead and try to figure that shit out. You can do it. Farshid Karimi, 8 months ago.
Mhm.
Tonight, we, parentheses, Iranians, have a beautiful festivity dating back to thousands of years. It is Yalda Night, a night that marks the triumph of goodness over evil, light over darkness, when people get together to celebrate this ancient occasion till next morning when days become longer and the sun, parentheses, goodness, rises victoriously. Now, what could make this night more beautiful? Keeping my company. Yes, Buckethead with another amazing song. This will immortalize tonight in my mind for as long as I am alive. Ancient mythology from ancient Rome tied to an ancient event from Iran. This guy is unrivaled, unmatched, and there will never be an artist like him. Thank you for making my Yalda night a great one. I am going to have only one companion tonight, Chariot of Saturn.
Speaking of the Prince of Persia, this guy's a king right here. You know what I'm saying?
Nice. I wonder how this guy feels about the Prince of Persia games.
I don't know. Glad to have representation.
I mean, do you think
Jake Gyllenhaal?
Yeah,
Jake
yeah.
Gyllenhaal.
He's my favorite Persian, Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah, the Persianist, the most Iranian of Iranians.
Correct.
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Exactly.
Just Gyllenhaal is the most like Middle Eastern name you could possibly
Yeah,
have.
totally. I went to a Mediterranean place the other day called Gyllenhaal's. Got a great falafel.
Yeah. My favorite, my favorite Persian movie is Donnie Darko.
I'm never gonna pretend that didn't happen. Okay. Okay, can you read this comment and do a great Swedish accent for me?
Yeah, sure. Wow,
Wait,
Gogo,
hold on,
he
hold
is
on,
still
hold on,
himself.
hold on. You gotta say who wrote it. Gotta say who wrote it.
Okay. So George Bronton, in his PFP, is the two faces from Pink Floyd's "The Division Bell" from 1992.
Right.
He writes 8 months ago. He says, "Wow, Gogo, he is still himself. I wish him a lot of health and, of course, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I just love his music. Best reggae. George Bronton from Sweden."
Thank you. I love any
Best reggae.
best regades. Yeah, I love anybody who signs their posts. That's one of my favorite internet things. Is anyone signing their posts because you know that they're very old. You just know.
Yes.
You know they're ancient when they're signing their posts, and that's
yeah.
great.
Well, the comment on the internet is a lot like a small letter, you see. So I've got to send them my best regards.
Best
and,
regades.
say my name. Best reggae.
Best brigades.
It's best reggae the music.
Vivimos en una sociedad says 5 months ago.
We live in a society, is what that means, which is awesome.
Does it really? That's
Yeah, it
awesome.
really does.
So this is some deep bucket scene drama. This is actually serious. This is wild. Okay, so this is a comment on a post by Poly8 who has stopped uploading Buckethead albums.
Interesting.
And they say this 5 months ago. Why did you stop, bro? You have like 5 albums left, and then you'd have the whole series. And then we have a very interesting response. The Pyro King 123 says 2 months ago, I'm worried about him. About 5 months ago, someone on Reddit found a massive stash of Buckethead CDs at a thrift store or something like that, which all came from the same person. Although unlikely, Poly may have died, and that could have been his collection. It was an extensive collection, too, like some really hard ones to find. This could explain his absence in the last 5 months, but hopefully not.
Let's hope not.
So I went and tracked this down. I found this
Poly8.
Reddit post, and this guy was right. It was actually 4.5 months ago, but he was like right on. And so this is a picture of the collection that somebody found.
Oh shit, he has Thanatopsis
Right.
and shit like that? Oh my god, he has some really
So
rare
they found
shit
this
in
at a
there.
thrift store, right? And they didn't give
The Elephant Man's alarm clock?
right.
Fuck.
These are all like extremely rare Buckethead albums.
Holy, whoa, is that the Japanese giant robot? Because that shit's worth. That's like, yeah. holy
Right?
shit.
Yeah. No, it's absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
Like it's a crazy collection that somebody found.
It's got like all the TDRS stuff.
Right.
There.
Yeah, totally. It's got everything, right? Fucking Colma.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
obscure shit. And so yeah, I don't know. Pretty interesting, right? Like let's hope that's not what happened to Pulley Pulley 8. Maybe Pulley Pulley
Yeah.
8 just got distracted by school or life
Just became humano
or
being.
just became humano being. Yeah, or maybe they rebranded to become the Buckethead Archive. Maybe that's them now because they're like, "Hey, I'm trans, so I'm coming out on my other
Interesting.
page."
Interesting idea.
Probably not, but it's just this was a really interesting, like, deep thought. I'm not so sure I'm gonna say like, "Hey, this is what happened," but I do think it's an interesting idea, and just something
Very interesting idea.
interesting to think about. So pretty
Yeah.
weird stuff. Pretty weird stuff. Carpenter Joe. Oh, we're going into the Bucket Church. So let's Bucket Church.
Wait, did I send you the song? 'Cause I have a song.
Oh, I didn't know that. No, I didn't see. I can
Oh, I thought I sent you the song. But here, let me play it
Please,
real quick. Let me
please.
find it.
To be closer with you, let us go to the Bucket Church. To be closer with you, to Bucket Church we go.
Hell yeah, to Bucket Church we go. Carpenter Joe says 8 months ago, "This is it. Bucketed's legacy is his ability to add a haunting or even sinister factor to whatever idea he flaunts around it. No other artist can hone in on this evasive vibe like Bucket. We have been deprived of any lead sorcery as of late, and the deludity of Riff Pikes has strained my belief system a great deal. But I stand here today, smiling, pointing up to the sky, vintage JBL 4312 control monitors standing proud that they have once again been a small part of a Buckethead masterpiece, as anyone could be the last. But lo and behold, the Bucket." I loved this comment.
That's pretty good. We have been deprived of any lead sorcery as of
Mhm.
late.
It's true.
Um,
Hate to see it.
yeah, I agree with pretty much everything Carpenter Joe
Mhm.
says here.
I like that.
Except which one was this on? Because I don't think any
This
of
was
these
on
Pikes was particularly
the Pike 302, or yeah, 302.
Cyborgs,
Mhm.
Robots, and More. Weird, because he didn't really have much lead stuff on tier.
Yeah, because he said we've been deprived of lead sorcery as of late.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So we
Uh,
have. We've been deprived of it.
But yeah, he says that, but it's also straining his belief. But I stand here today, smiling, pointing up to the sky, that they have once again been a small part of this masterpiece. So I don't know. It's like he's complaining about it, but then saying that he kind of did it, but he didn't. really.
Yeah, it's a confusing comment, but I like it. I like that it's written like a holy, like,
'Cause,
address.
Yeah, the pike he's talking about is the deludedly of riff
Yeah,
pikes.
it
It is a riff pike.
Maybe you left it
There's
on the
not a-
wrong.
there's no lead
pike.
sorcery.
I don't know.
Perhaps. Hopefully we have something that's coming up. Although the next one I think is a live album. So ugh.
Continuing our Bucket Church, Paul Paulson, 8 months ago. "Thank you, Lord, for healing my soul with Buckethead in mad and terrible times connected to Corona. Lord, send your love to all suffering and tortured with sad mindsets. Thank you and amen from Germany."
Oh, and oh wow, we've got a lot of international comments this
A
week.
lot of
That's
international
interesting.
comments. We love to see them. Lastly, in Bucket Church, But not lastly in the segment. Cactus Slunk says 8 months ago, edited, whenever I'm feeling down, Big Bus music always pick me up.
We know for sure that he's saying that just to make people think he doesn't ride a short bus. No, I like big bus music. I'm a big bus boy. I've never ridden a short bus, not me. Cactus Slunk's a smart boy.
Exactly. Now that we're out of the bucket church, well, I guess, this is still in the bucket church. Sorry. Gregory Aker, 3 months ago, it makes me glad I'm a Capricorn and my ruling planet is Saturn Buckethead. There are no words I can speak, and that's a never happened before. Thank you. He said in words.
Yeah, the astrology bitches are out here on the Buckethead YouTube. That's cool.
ABB, Astrology Bucket Bitches.
Gregory Acker is definitely like a fucking 18-year-old e-girl who's into astrology,
Definitely. Right? Oh, man, my favorite e-girls are named Gregory.
Oh, I'm such a Capricorn.
Oh, my God. It makes me so glad I'm a Capricorn and my ruling planet is Saturn Buckethead. So it's time to revisit an old friend.
Master of the ship key, a bucket bot divine. Tormentor extraordinaire, it's time for Jordan Vine.
Oh my God, Jordan Vine, he's here, he's back in action, and we love to see him. We've got three Buckethead comments here, and they're all awesome. And so we're gonna do this one first. This is the first one I saw 8 months ago, so really recent. Jordan Vine's been active pretty recently. Jordan Vine, 8 months ago. You want to... Let's just do alternating lines here. 8 months ago. Incredible! Awesome! And phenomenal!
I really don't care if he doesn't solo or if he repeats himself. I heart emoji his music.
Too much to give a fuck. Hell yeah. That's great.
Hell yeah.
It's a great time. We love to see a Jordan Vine. Okay. We're going to do this one. Not that one. No, not that one. Oh my God. These got out of order. Okay. This one here. Pretty good. Jordan Vine. And this is a very line by line reading here.
Cool.
Phenomenal and sensational as usual.
I really don't care what he does.
What style of Pike he wants to do.
That's up to him.
He just wants to riff.
That's up to him.
He wants to solo or not.
That's up to him.
If there's repetition, I don't care.
'Cause he can do what he wants.
'Cause it's his music.
Some really classic
Dude,
Jordan Vine here. Some really
fucking good
classic.
shit.
It's his music. Shut the fuck
Yeah.
up. Let him do his stuff. He's the best, greatest guitarist.
It's
ever.
fucking rad. So lastly, we have a pretty long Jordan Vine here.
Ooh,
And it's
wow.
pretty
That
fucking
is-
rad. And I think, line by line's probably gonna work here too.
You want to just do paragraph 1? I'll do 2. You
Yeah,
do
that
3?
works. Jordan Vine says 8 months ago, edited. I know people have been moaning, whinging, whining, and complaining about repetition, but seriously, I just don't give a flying fuck about that. I really don't care what he does, to be honest.
'Cause I heart emoji his music too much to give a fuck. I really don't understand why people are moaning sing about repetition when the music is just fucking amazing and awesome. Keep going. Buckethead! Keep going and keep playing what you want and releasing what you want.
And releasing what Pike/album you want, solo if you want to solo. Riff if you want to riff. Name the Pike what you want to name it. Just what the fuck you want. Buckethead, just do what you want. Because you have the right. Because it's your music. Yeah, he has the right. Because it's his music.
You know, it is You Are Music.
It is your music, Buckethead.
It is You Are Music.
It is your
Buckethead.
music.
You Are Music. It is You Are Music.
So then we're going to highlight a comment, a response to this comment that has rocked my fucking world. Because I noticed something about Jordan Vine's comments a little while ago that I thought was interesting. I didn't bring it up because I was like, whatever. But somebody else drew attention to it, and it's really something. Friend of the show, Jason Evans, 1 month ago edited, "Whinging, spoken proper British bloke."
Friend of the show, Jason Evans.
Friend of the show, Jason Evans. Jordan Vine might be fucking British, man.
That's an interesting idea, in which case we have to go back and
We
re-record
do.
everything in a British
We
accent.
do. We must.
It doesn't matter because it's You Are Music.
I just don't give a flying fuck.
I bloody don't well care. It's his music. He's allowed to sell on what you damn well want, all
All
right?
right, so from now on, any Jordan Fine comments we get, we have to read with British accents. So, in case you're wondering why we're doing that, this is why.
When I do them, at least, they are going to become increasingly less and less intelligible, as though I'm a British man taking shots of gin in the middle of doing the commentary.
Hell yeah.
You know, and by the end, I'll just be slurring everything about, I don't want Buckethead, oh, so fuck my mug dot, right? You see?
Oh,
Goddamn bloody hell, right?
goddamn Buckethead.
A goddamn guitar mirror in it! God damn it.
Jordan Fine. Hell yeah. So lastly, but certainly not least, RC Swiss Made says 8 months ago, Buckethead is not from this world. Do you think they got out of QAnon? Do you think...
We go on, we go. He's keeping it in. He's keeping it in. No, he didn't get out of QAnon. QAnon got out of the culture. I want to see if RC Swiss Made is back on it, since QAnon is kind of back.
Yeah, I'm curious. Yeah. I mean, well, QAnon just became different things. It never really went away, but yeah, it became less of a potent force in that community.
I mean, no, well, I mean, the poster, like Q did go away for like 2 years, legitimately, and like they're kind of back, maybe.
Yeah.
Ron Watkins lost his Senate.
Hilarious. He lost the primary. Hilariously.
Oh yeah. He not only lost the primary, he lost it so bad that he moved to Australia like a month beforehand,
which is great.
And I think like lives there now to try to escape like law enforcement.
Yeah, he doesn't want to be subpoenaed in the January 6th thing. Which is funny. This is very
love
funny.
that.
Yeah. With that, let's get into recommendations.
Cool. That was the bucket void, I suppose.
Yes, it was.
I can go first this week, I guess. I do have a recommendation.
You do? What do you got?
Movie from 1986 called Where's Officer Tuba?
Okay.
It's starring Sammo Hung as a police officer who plays a tuba.
That rules.
And he's haunted by his dead friend in order to solve his dead friend's murder.
Sounds pretty goth.
It's amazing. It is one of the funniest films I've ever seen. As far as like physical comedy goes, it's one of the funniest films I've ever seen. It's like next level, like Rowan Atkinson level physical
That's
comedy.
awesome.
It's incredible. Really highly recommend it. It's just a super fun movie. It's it's got subtitles, so you got to be able to
Damn.
read. So I'm not recommending it to you,
Shit,
Spencer.
I'm illiterate.
But if you can read the English
Shit.
language, this one's
Nice.
for you.
that rocks.
Yeah. What do you got to
I
recommend?
can't even do Duolingo because I'm not single lingo.
Wow.
um,
It'd be Uno Lingo.
yeah, sure, whatever. Yeah. Okay, so my recommendation for this week is a video game that I've gotten really into lately. This was a game that I initially was not interested in at all because it just didn't seem like it was going to be my thing. But I ended up checking it out, and then I ended up buying it, and I ended up liking it a lot. And that is Elden Ring. It is a very cool game. I gotta say, it's really neat. I call it.
Not to be
Go ahead. Sorry.
not to be confused with the game that they sell at Chinese food drive-throughs. And Den Ring.
Terrible joke. Shibby. Yeah. I refer to it as El Dong Ring, as in I dropped my monster.
Is it a big Mexican penis?
I dropped my
big old fat Mexican penis.
my monster Elden Ring I used for my Magnum Elden Hog. Yeah. Elden Dong. Yes.
Elden Dong.
Yeah. No,
Big old sloppy old man's penis. Why don't you stick it on my lips? Big old sloppy man's penis. Why don't you put it in between my hips? Give me that old man cock. I said, give me that old man cock. Bob Seger, I'm ready to fuck. Give me your old man cock.
nice with the Bob Seger. Yeah. I saw this great picture of the back of a car, and they had a bumper sticker that I think is fucking amazing. I'm also going to recommend this bumper sticker just so I have an excuse to read it. And this is what it says. It says, "I drive this car, but hitting Billy Joel with it drives me."
That's really
really good.
We should, yeah. I'd like a bumper sticker that says "I'd rather not be listening to Billy Joel."
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, it's pretty good. With that, it's time for my favorite part of the show.
Ha 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 bucket joke. Ha 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 bucket joke. Ha 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 bucket joke. Ha 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 bucket joke.
Hey, it's bucket jokes. Part of the thing where we tell jokes.
Yeah.
Wait, where are my jokes? Oh, weird. I put them before the recommend. My broth business is going well. I'm almost out of stock.
Oh, I see what you did there.
I'll never forget my grandfather's last words. You wouldn't dare shoot your own grandfather.
Pretty good.
You know, good pussy is like a magnet factory for a moral compass. I ordered a whiskey on the rocks, but they said they wouldn't put my drink on Dwayne Johnson's tab.
Oh, nice.
Hey. You gotta hand it to blind people who want to listen to the Stephen King audiobook about the evil clown. You gotta hand it.
Yeah. I see what you did there.
You know, I was shocked when I found out about the third rail for subways.
Right. Yeah.
I rented what I thought was a Whoopi Goldberg narrated documentary on erectile dysfunction, but it turned out to just be her and a monkey that does baseball.
Jesus. Right.
It's called ED. The movie's called ED.
I know what it's called.
Yeah.
I know. Is that what that show is about too? The Ed show?
The Ed show.
You know that show called
that a show?
Ed? It was like
No, I
it
don't.
was like a single camera show from the 90s. It was like about a dude filming his life all the time or something. You remember that?
Wasn't that a movie? Ed TV?
Oh, is that what I'm talking about? I thought it was a show too.
I think that's what you're talking about.
But
I think you're talking about Ed TV, the movie.
I probably am.
Yeah.
Edward.
You know, every time you come, it's a cream pie when your dick is only 3.14 inches. One of the legs on my easel broke, and I can't stand it any longer.
Damn.
Hmm.
Hate to see it.
We'll end with this one. I was arrested for erotic electrostimulation, but the DA didn't want to charge me because he knew I would come.
Uh-oh.
All right. So now we're going to do what I like to do every week. Bad jokes. I find the worst jokes on the
Love
internet.
these bad jokes.
Stuff that no one even likes on Reddit.
Mhm.
And everyone likes something on
Yeah,
Reddit.
'cause Reddit's
so
bad.
these are the worst of the worst. Everyone hates these jokes.
Mhm.
Why should you always trust cocaine addicts?
Why?
Because they're normally along white lines.
What? I don't understand that at all.
Because they're normally along white lines. Cocaine addicts. They're
Right. I understand white lines, like lines of cocaine, but why, what?
You know, the Twin Towers didn't really stand the test of time.
That's a good joke. I like that one.
I don't think it is. I think it's dumb.
Well, yeah,
I
it
don't-
is dumb, but I like it.
You know, I went to a diner full of people.
Mhm.
Yeah, there wasn't mush room.
What?
I went to a diner full of people. Yeah,
Yeah.
there wasn't mush room.
Uh-huh. Okay. Right. Okay. That one's bad. That
Mushroom.
one's really bad.
Mushroom.
Like, wouldn't it be like, here's a better one. My stew was getting full. There wasn't mush room. Right? Like, at least that's
Yeah.
like that joke makes sense, sort of.
Yeah, I guess.
Hate it.
Mario, there's no more room in the castle. Oh no, Toad, says Mario. There's not the mushroom. You know, Spencer, this is the last time you'll be alive.
Okay. Wait, what?
That's the joke. It's not an assassination. You know, it's not an assassination. It's a kinetic special election.
Okay.
I was going to retain a lawyer, but they had already been tained.
Okay. I was gonna refrigerate something, but everything had already been refrigerated.
No. It would be, I was going to refrigerate
Oh,
something, but it had already been refrigerated.
No, but that doesn't work either.
Yeah, exactly. So this one is not funny, but I laugh every time I think about it still. So maybe it is
Okay,
funny.
all right, I'm ready.
Here we go. Drinking Coke Zero is like having sex with a condom on.
Huh?
It's like having sex with a condom on. I'm like,
Is
so
it
it's pretty cool. I don't.
yeah, is it really?
Good. I don't.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Tight.
Like, are you gonna get pregnant if you drink Coca-Cola? I really don't get this.
Mhm.
So I'd be a nut if I hung around with a dick.
Okay. Yeah, I guess that could be true.
Jewish people always make meaningful purchases because they don't like hollow costs.
That sucks.
Yeah, that
That's
joke
a
sucks bad.
joke.
Yeah, that joke makes me uncomfortable.
Wow.
It sucks when an argument ends with an agreement rather than you being totally correct.
Okay. Yeah, I guess. How is that a joke?
I don't know. All right, now we're going to go to the Hall of Shame. And since you liked it at least this week, we're going to put it at number 5 on the Hall of Shame. The Twin Towers didn't really stand the test of time.
Love that one.
Number 4 this week. A criminal can never swim because he's Sin King.
That one
Like
has
the
gotten
king of
better.
sin.
That one has gotten better. Like I like it more now than the first time I heard it. So
It's still the
it's
worst
so
joke,
bad.
but I love how bad of a joke it
That's what I
is.
like
It's
about
like it stumbles so. I see what he's going for, and I'm like, no, you can't get there, and he still goes
Right.
for it. It's great. Number 3 on the list: 2 women walked out of a library. They cleaned it so well.
Yeah, good stuff.
Number 2: Kurt Cobain received mind-blowing head on April 5th,
That one should be
1994.
number 1. That's the best one. That's the
Nah,
best
because
one.
this one is still my favorite. This one still takes the cake for me. I laugh about this joke every time I think about
Uh-huh.
it. A man walks into a stable and the horse says, "Why the small cock?"
Oh my God!
Hey, that's about the end of our show here. Where can we find you online, Spencer?
We're gonna find you.
Well, if you're listening to this show, how about you go check us out on at Bucketcast, at a Bucketcast. I'm sorry, at a Bucketcast. Pretty much anywhere, any social on the internet. You should really just you should really just go to our Patreon though, which is at patreon.com/dumbidiotbs. We post everything from both our podcasts there, some special
All
episodes,
sorts of cool stuff.
interact with our fans, do a lot of fun, cool stuff. Go check us out there.
Do it.
For as little as $2 a month, you can be our patron, and
We'll put that money
yeah, it's
into
cool.
terrible things. And you will likely enjoy those things. So, recommended.
Absolutely, and big shout out to our $5 and above secret coop members. We got Jordan Hale, we got Devin Saturnus.
Hell yeah.
Good friend there. Just sent me a package the other day. Really cool stuff. Bunch of his music on tapes.
Hell yeah.
And some cool shit like that, and some weird old erotic magazines that we should definitely read on here.
Yeah.
They've got a bunch of like 1980s spanking
Oh,
stories
I
and stuff
love
like
it.
that. They're
I'm
wild.
here for that.
We also got Ian Killian,
Hell yeah.
Dylan
Hell
Lance,
yeah.
and our longest and strongest Patreon member, Dan Morrison.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so thank you everybody in those tiers, and thanks to all of our patrons, even the ones we didn't mention. You pay for our show now. All of our costs are covered by the show or by our Patreon,
Which
so
is
that's
awesome.
really
It's
neat.
fucking
Thank you.
sick as fuck. It's a good time. Good time. With that,
Hell yeah.
I have been Spencer.
And I have been Britain.
You've been listening to Getting in a Bucket Cast.
Stay greasy, bucketheads.
Namaste.